just got news that Ro is going to be headed into surgery, and I want to make this video in hopes to help people out or just give people insights on what it is like to send your child into surgery. It's definitely scary. I don't think you ever get used to it. Let me give you all some context. Since birth, she has been diagnosed with trachea and bronchomalacia. So what that means is the tissue in her trachea, or her airways, her lungs are basically soft. So this is our airway, and this portion of it, right, is our tissue. So as normal people who aren't diagnosed with the malicias, our airways tend to collapse on a day-to-day basis, maybe every hour, I don't know how many times, but when it collapses, it opens back up by itself. But when you have this malacia, this trachea or bronchomalacia, it's soft tissue, so it's harder for it to expand back out. For the most part, what happens is it just collapses, and it most likely doesn't open back up at all. What has been developed for this diagnosis are trachs, and what the trach does is it's like a tube that goes in your throat that bypasses the tracheomalacia, and it creates this artificial airway. So now when their airways collapses, it can't close fully. So it kind of like rests on the tube. So when my daughter trach is out, or when it accidentally falls out, what I could imagine is she's suffocating. And I hate that. I hate the feeling of suffocating, and I wouldn't want that to happen to anybody else. So we try to do really, really well with her trach care. From what we have learned, in order to heal your body from this diagnosis, you either take this experimental drug that will strengthen your airways for, I don't know how long you're supposed to be on it. It did not work for my daughter. It has worked for others, so it may work in cases that you're involved with. For us, we got the second treatment, which is basically time. As you get older, the airways strengthen and you kind of just grow out of the malacia. It seems like the healing hasn't been happening and her airways still hasn't strengthened. So the next step is surgery. We are fortunate enough to have Ro at this particular time when technologies have advanced, many cases have popped up, and surgeons have been able to master trachea and bronchomalacia. For the most part, that's what it seems like. When we were meeting the surgeons, it just seemed like they were like, just another case. Tracheomalacia. We got this. They seem overly confident. So it kind of helps us out because it makes us feel more confident about the surgery. At least myself, my wife, she is just, she as nervous as can be right now, but I'm kind of super eager. We have been having so many restless nights. Oh, man, in my previous video, I shared that we've been having a battle of trying to get someone to be an aide, relieve us of the night shift so that my wife and I can sleep and get adequate sleep. For the past, I believe, 3 years maybe, because the first year of her life, she was hospitalized. So maybe 3 years. No, it's going on 4 years because she's almost 5. So the past 4 years, me and my wife have mastered this way of sleeping where if we hear one little cough, we're just up. So we haven't really had a full night's sleep. But with this surgery, it might happen. And I'm also expecting that we'll be able to take my daughter off of a lot of medications. No more nebulizers, no more chest vents, none of that no more. She is healed. For the most part, that's what the surgeons are saying, that after they do the CAT scan to get more information about her insides and once they get her into the surgery and see things and do this and manipulate that, that she will be better because it's reconstructing or making the airways better. I'm like really happy, but nervous. It's just a lot of emotions. The biggest concern that I have, I guess, is just, man, her body, man. It's going through a lot. If you all do not know, Ro was diagnosed with a heart defect, and as a young baby, she had to get heart surgery to repair that. So this is not her first surgery. I know parents who have experienced putting their child through surgery. You know, the first time, the second time, the third time, the fourth time, the fifth time is just as scary as the first time. You know, you never get over it, and it never becomes easy. So all I could really do about her body, about this surgery, is just pray, call on the prayer warriors. You too, like, just call on anybody you need to talk to, anybody. If you do pray as hard as possible, and you just believe that your child is going to come through on the other side. And try to stay away from all the negative thoughts and feedback. Just try to stay positive. And I also wanted to say this because I feel like this is the most important part about surgery in general, right? You want to make sure you're asking all of the questions. And the biggest questions that we have developed, maybe you have more, leave them down in the comments if you have experienced this. What I tend to ask is the risk, right? What is the risk from this surgery? How does it look years from now? The second question would be, what is the probability of success, right? And it seems like the probability of success for this surgery is pretty high. You know, like I was saying, they seem really confident, and the risk is pretty low. So I feel like this is going to be a good surgery, and that is why I'm like confident, you know, little nervous, little excited. Just all the emotions. It's all the emotions. We were talking about it, me and my wife, and you know, I agree with her. The biggest concern is just her body and the recovery. You know, how is that going to be? And how long is it going to be? We're just praying that it's going to be expeditious. It's been a long wait to get to this step. Like I said, what the doctors were trying to do was just wait it out and hope that she grows out of it. So this process has been a journey. It has been a fight. And if people are entering this journey, entering this fight, just know that there is an end. If you have a child who has gone through surgery and you want to share your thoughts, let me know in the comments. Subscribe if you are new for more updates on my daughter's tracheomalacia, bronchomalacia's journey. Hopefully in the next video, we'll be like, she's healed. So yeah, I'll see you all in the next one. Peace and one love.